Well, good morning. I'm out here with Snowball, who's just been charged up overnight, so we're ready to hit the road again on day 2. I don't really have a plan. I thought I would just drive downtown and find a place to park and walk around a little bit and see something that might intrigue me.
In 500 feet, turn left onto Dean Bowen Street.
There's a parking lot on my left. I think I'll give that a shot. It looks fairly well located. So I decided to walk downtown and see what moves me. I decided to go to the Patsy Cline Museum, which is on the second floor of the Johnny Cash Museum. The Johnny Cash Museum is terrific. I would say Patsy Cline much less so, and at $20, it's vastly overpriced. I think the best part of the museum was a recording of the life of Patsy Cline. The song Crazy was written by Willie Nelson before he actually had any hit recordings. Patsy Cline recorded it and it became the most listened jukebox record of all time. Like a few other early country stars, Patsy Cline was killed in a single-engine airplane crash. She was only 30. Today they make so much money they have their own jets, which have a much better safety record than commercial airlines. The Schermerhorn Symphony Hall is absolutely beautiful. I wish that there had been a performance that I could have attended that day. This initiative was led by fellow Wade Hampton member Martha Ingram in honor of her partner later in life, Ken Schermerhorn, who was the longtime director of the Nashville Symphony. When I arrived in downtown Nashville, I parked in a fairly large lot that did not have an attendant. So I was required to set up an account on my smartphone with my telephone number and my license plate number. And then the sign said all I had to do was drive out. So obviously they had a computer vision system that read my license plate. And shortly thereafter, I got this invoice. I was intrigued with this and looked it up online, and there are a number of startups that do this, and it offers a lot of flexibility in terms of the rate, monthly discounts, corporate discounts, et cetera, et cetera. So it was a pretty neat system. I'm sure there'll be a lot of consolidation in this business going forward, but it worked pretty well. Back on the road after my visit in Nashville, I'm planning on going to Jackson, Tennessee for a supercharger visit, and I think I'm going to go see the Casey Jones Railroad Museum. When I was growing up, Memphis was the largest city in Tennessee by a fair margin. Now, according to the 2020 estimates, metropolitan Nashville has 1.96 million people. Memphis has 1.3 million people. And Knoxville, the third largest city in Tennessee, has 878,000. Trivia alert: Knoxville is the largest city in the United States with a silent first letter.
It's a nice day, but it's rather hot. My car says 96 degrees. That's road temperature, I guess, maybe a little less when you're not on the asphalt, but still very hot.
So I've got 2.8 miles to Jackson, as you can see here. I've got 30% state of charge, and it's estimated I'll be 27% when I arrive at Jackson at the supercharger. If I touch the symbol, you can see that Jackson has 8 superchargers, 150 kilowatt chargers, and 7 of them are available. So I don't think they're going to fill up in the next couple of minutes. So next stop is the Jackson supercharger.
Okay, let's get a little juice. This is a 150 kilowatt charger. You can tell because the cords are thicker. It allows coolant. Okay, the battery should have been plenty warm, so it should take a full fast charge right away. And it's showing 141 kilowatts, or close to 600 miles an hour. And it says to charge up to the set point would be about 30 minutes. So let's go check the Railroad Museum. This is a kind of a cool little supercharger stop here. Places to eat, things to see. Now this would be fun. You can run this model train by pushing the red button. Oh, and you can control the speed. I guess it slows down on the curves. And you can turn on switch lights and power lights. Hey, this is better than owning your own train. Makes you want to go buy one.
Television, movies, toys.
They had a lot of very interesting mementos here about railroads and Casey Jones. Casey Jones was from this area, went to work for the railroad at a very early age, became an engineer. Casey worked for the Illinois Central Railroad, and he was the engineer for Engine 382. He had a special whistle made which had a whippoorwill sound, and all along his route people would say, "There goes Casey Jones." In 1900, he was killed on a cannonball run from Chicago to New Orleans. He was known for his exceptional punctuality, and he departed 75 minutes late but he had made up almost all of the time at speeds apparently up to 100 miles an hour. Casey knew he had the right of way because he was carrying passenger cars as well as a mail car. So all the freight trains were obligated to pull off on a siding until he passed. Unfortunately, in Vaughn, Mississippi, there was a freight train who had several cars that protruded onto the track. When they rounded the curve and Casey saw the freight train, he told his fireman to jump, and he immediately began to slow the train. While he was killed in a valiant effort to stay with the train, he did not lose a single passenger. Back on the road, heading to Memphis, I played the Ballad of Casey Jones and the Wreck of the Old 97 at full volume because I enjoyed the museum so much and it just put me in a good mood. A lot of construction going on here. I'm on Interstate 40, which is only 4 lanes, and it looks like they're putting in 2 more lanes. I've never seen so many trucks on any interstate in my whole life. I guess this is a major east-west corridor. My home for the night, the Hyatt Place Hotel outside Memphis. Well, a bit of a leisurely day driving-wise. I drove 206 miles, used 64 kilowatt hours at an efficiency of 311 watt hours per mile. Well, it's a nice room, sort of a junior suite. Has a coffee bar here. Not bad for $113 a night, including a free breakfast.